Hi, I'm Jason from Tirio, and this is Millie, our packrafting dog. I'm going to talk to you the next few minutes about some top tips we've learned about getting your dog out on the raft with you. So let me tell you a little bit about Millie. Millie's just over 2 years old. She's a border collie, and she's been coming out rafting with us on single day, multi-day trips, and sometimes she comes with us while we're guiding clients on commercial trips. She's been doing it since we got her from a rescue centre when she was 6 months old. When we first got Millie, she was very timid, a little bit scared, and so it was quite hard to get her into a raft. The first thing that we decided to do was not take her straight out on the water and try and get her wet, but was to practice with her in the house with the rafts in the house, inflating and deflating them around her, because the hissing and everything like that used to scare her quite a bit. She got quite timid of them. So play games around the raft and get your dog jumping in and out the raft before it's in the garden. We're going to jump in. Come on. Up. Not on me. In here. Come on. In we go. Sit. Okay. So a lot of times people are quite worried about the dog's claws and their pack rafts. And Millie's got dew claws. Yeah. And they are really, really sharp. Okay. We've never had a problem with her claws puncturing a raft at all, and as you can see, we're quite happy to let her jump around and climb all over them. Initially we did have a pair of boots for Millie, but we quickly realised that these weren't too good an option. First of all, when the dog wears the boots, they're quite clumsy, they find it awkward to walk, and when you're pack rafting, the dog's going to be hopping in and out the raft on seashores, rocky banks, slippy wet rocks. And we quite quickly realised that Millie was going to injure herself by slipping and sliding around on the rocks. And so we just got rid of the boots, and she's been absolutely fine. The next thing we needed to do with Millie is get her so that while we were sorting her kit out, ready to get on the water, she wasn't charging round, wreaking havoc. And so we spent a lot of time with Millie down by the river or by the lakes, just getting her to lie or sit in the raft. And so now, when we're on the side of the water and we're getting our dry suits on, buoyancy aids, things like that, Millie will hop in the raft, and that's her ritual getting ready to get set off. She knows if she sits in the raft, then we're going to go. And there you go, you can see she's really comfortable in the raft. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what kit we think is a good idea to have with you if you're going to raft with your dog. The fundamental basic kit is a buoyancy aid for your dog. And this is Millie's buoyancy aid. It's a rough wear buoyancy aid. It gives her quite a bit of flotation. Now lots of people say, hey, you know what? I don't need a buoyancy aid for my dog, it can swim. And yeah, all dogs can swim. The problems occur is when you're a little bit far from shore, and if you capsize, your dog's in the water, you're in the water, you need to get yourself back in the raft and get yourself ready to go again before you think about getting the dog in. And so this added buoyancy is really important for helping Millie to be comfortable so she can float, especially in waves and things like that. Can we put your buoyancy aid on? Come on, come here. Come on. Here we go. Ready? Oh, good girl. That's a one. Come on. Thank you. So, there we go. So another thing is practicing with your dog in the house, in the garden, getting the buoyancy aid on. So it's all calm, there's no stress or frustration when you're out on your trip and you want to get on the water and the dog's being a little bit reluctant to put it on. The other thing that's really useful about these buoyancy aids is it's got this top handle. The dogs find it really hard to get back in the rafts because the rafts are so smooth. Thank you. Because the rafts are so smooth, they can't get any purchase. So this top handle's really useful for lifting Millie up and bringing her back in the raft. It's also really useful because sometimes Millie gets a bit excited when she sees seals or otters or other wildlife, and it's a good thing to be able to grab hold of her to stop her from kind of deciding to take a swim to investigate what the seals are doing.
Woo!
It's fully adjustable, so we can tighten it right up on her, and it's really comfortable. Another thing it adds is extra warmth for Millie when she's in the raft. That leads me on to the next bit of kit. If you're going to be doing any sort of distance, you're going to be out all day, if the weather's bad or winter or cold, we really strongly suggest having some sort of waterproof coat or warm coat for the dog. They're going to be sitting quite inactive in the raft the whole time, and they will get cold. Okay, Millie's got a really thin coat, collies don't have a thick coat, and so that's really worth bearing in mind. This one here just has this sort of pile inner with it, and when we're camping with Millie, we use this as Millie's kind of sleeping bag as well. So another good idea to keep the dog warm is to have a floor in the raft. So we just use this piece of closed cell foam sleeping mat, and it goes just in the bottom of the raft there like that. So now when Millie's in the raft, she's off the floor, so she's not in contact with the floor, which is in contact with the cold water. Okay, so next thing we'll do, we'll have a little look at getting your dog in the raft and positioning the raft. Now I've purposely chosen this Kokopelli Rogue Light because it's quite a small raft. There's not a huge amount of space in the cockpit, and I'm quite big, and so we want to demonstrate that even with a raft like this, you can still comfortably get your dog in. Okay, I'll hop in. Millie, come here. Come on. Oh, hello. And here's Millie. Oh, you brought a log. Oh, thank you. So when Millie comes in, she always likes to hop into the raft facing like this, thank you. Because she feels nice and secure and comfortable. She gets to look at you while you're paddling, and the great thing is as well, she gets quite warm. So even if she's getting dripped on by the paddles or it's raining, she stays quite warm, and so do you. It's like having a hot water bottle in the raft with you. And even with her here, I've still got a good position so I can paddle. So there's Millie in the raft. Shall we try turning round? Sometimes when she's getting bored, she likes to spin round and look out the front. I'm not sure if she'll do it right now, but let's try. Shall we turn round? Come on. Another position she quite often sits in is like this, where she'll lean over the front of the raft, looking out off the side, even drinking the water, or she'll put her paws up on the front to see where we're going. So even in a small raft like this, the Kokopelli Rogue Light, there's lots and lots of room for Millie to be inside, isn't there? Eh? Oh, oh yeah. We're not going paddling today. We can't, can we? We can't go paddling today. Just to summarise, to get your dog as keen and as packrafting as you are, so to enjoy your trips with you, practice at home, inflate and deflate your raft with the dog nearby, and get them keen to hop in and out. Make it fun, and then when you get to the water, there'll be kind of no stress. A buoyancy aid is really important. Although all dogs can swim, it's really hard to get a dog back into a pack raft without a buoyancy aid. They get really stressed because they can't get any grip on the smooth tubes, and also it's really a good way of just keeping them still in the raft if you need to. Finally, make sure the dog's off the floor of the raft so they don't get cold, and if the weather's bad or it's late or early in the year, think about a jacket with some insulation to put on, because the dog won't be active while it's in the raft, so they get cold quite easily. The last thing I want to say, and this is really, really important, never, ever, ever think about connecting your dog with a rope or leash or anything like that to you or the raft. It's really dangerous. It's dangerous for you, and it's dangerous for the dog. A dog that's swimming in the water will go round you, come up to you, will scramble up on the raft, and that leash can lead to you being tangled up, or the dog getting tangled up. How are we doing, Millie? We can't go today. Can't go, we're just practice. We're just making a film. Okay? There we are.